While Meghan Markle was incredibly disrespectful to our late and wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, over the mocking, of course, not of the curtsy, but of the free home that Her Majesty gifted the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in the grounds of Windsor, Frogmore Cottage. Well, that really wasn't the only thing that offended our late and wonderful monarch. As I mentioned before, the Queen was a very, very astute person. Obviously, many years together, on the monarchy. As I've said before, you see, our wonderful monarch was a very astute person and could read people naturally very quickly. She had to. She started the job very early and had to make sure that who she associated with, anything that she said, could literally be placed back out there in the public domain. Hence the reason a lot of people said that she was kind of bland in many respects. I don't adhere to that at all. I just thought she was a very wise and cautious woman. In fact, too wise for the likes of the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle. And as I've often said here on the show, in the fullness of time, these things eventually come out, don't they? As ever, let me explain. Lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for joining me in this beautiful setting. Hope you're all keeping well. You are? Yeah, you're not bad? Well, you see, we've got to this date already. It's not bad either. By the way, somebody on the comments the other day said, Neil, you didn't celebrate our wonderful greatest writer, William Shakespeare. I did. I knew about it. But, if we covered everybody, we'd never get through anything. What a writer. What a man. And really, when you think about it, were the world's possibly greatest influencer, don't you think? Because, his works still live on today. And if you've ever visited the beautiful setting that is Stratford-upon-Avon, well worth a visit, not just for the history of him. It's a beautiful setting. You can understand why he was so inspired. But Shakespeare simply rules, even to this day, that even though they don't teach it now in schools, which I think is appalling. Back as ever, though, to your royal story. Cast your mind back, of course, to the Platinum Jubilee, June 2020. And, of course, when you think about it, cast your mind back to the Platinum Jubilee, and when you think about it, not bad weather at all, and sadly, the final time that we would actually see our wonderful monarch in such up closeness in public. And of course, there we had the ex-royals, the former royals, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, over here basically testing the water. As we saw, they were quite happy to wind the window down and wave to their fans along the way, even though they were concerned about security. Remember that. But there was one goal on that visit that Meghan Markle, and as ever we have to say allegedly, truly wanted, and it was quite simple. Really was that quite simple. Now, what she really wanted was an updated picture of herself with the Queen, just her and of course the Queen. Now you can understand this, very clever move by her, because that really intimates closeness, the sort of close friendship that they could have had. One better though that both Harry and Meghan were very keen on was to have a picture with their daughter Lilibet, Princess Lilibet, right? Now, we've told you the debacle about this before, but now 100% this never happened. And this was truly all down to Her Majesty the Queen. Now, it's even a little bit cloudy as to whether she ever met Lilibet. That's the interesting bit. People are really very shaky and nervous to actually point this out. But each and every time during their period over here, during the Platinum Jubilee, that Harry and Meghan tried to make their way up to the main house at Windsor, seemingly the Queen didn't feel right. She didn't look her best. She got a bloodshot eye. She wasn't ready, wasn't camera ready. This woman was born camera ready. She knew at any given moment, at any day, that, she had to be ready because something could happen. She may need to address the nation. Couldn't have a day off from doing her hair. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that rudely, but, that's the problem of being the monarch. Now, of course, Meghan really wasn't having any of this, and on a daily basis, literally, was pushing hard to get this particular picture. But Her Majesty the Queen was very wise, was having none of it, and simply said, maybe another time. Of course, there was never the opportunity for another time, because that other time never really happened. And this is one of the huge, shall we say, putting it nicely, regrets, annoyances that really irks the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex, because she knows that now her daughter, and including herself, don't really have anything up to date to sell regarding our late and wonderful monarch. And the memory that people have over here in the United Kingdom is simply this one. And this is the one that she hopes you'll all forget. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.